Hi guys, Travis here. Thanks for tuning in to my channel. Before we get to the video, I want to dedicate this particular video to Patrick Cleary. Thank you so much to donating to me while I'm going through this recovery. It means a lot to me. Thank you so much. And guys, make sure to check out his YouTube channel. I'll put the link below. I'm so freaking excited. We just got done doing renovations to our house. Try to do them as often as possible. Once a season, every 4 months, fall and then into winter, or whenever we have the time, And plus, I like to have them done so that my backyard neighbor, Linda Scavullo, that bitch, she can see what's going on. Anywho, we just had some renos done. We had the downstairs redone because we had this fish tank in the wall separating the dining area from the kitchen. And, it was big in the 80s, and we tried to keep it because it was, what do they call that in the house? It was when you have a house that's a statement piece. What is it when you have a house you can't be touched because the house is historical?
Historical?
Yeah, when you have a historical landmine. When you have a historical landmine, you can't touch it, I mean, ours isn't one, but it's pretty, so I don't want to, I put a plate, when you name a house, so we have like Lisa Vanderplump, she has Villa Blanca Rose over there, so we have the Buffem Estate, and it's not historical, but we've thought about, maybe one day it'll be old enough that they won't want to touch it. We like to do things to the house, but we didn't touch the fish tank. Plus, I liked having fish in there, and it's really what really drove us to do the renos was the fact that, I would put fish in there, and they would always die. And I'm sorry. I mean, I like animals, and I'm one of those PETA.
Animal lover.
Yeah, I like animals, and it was hard for me to keep big animals, like little dogs, because they're too much for me. I had a little animal back when it was a big deal to have an animal. When Paris Hilton had Tinkerbells there, so I had one too, but I didn't realize how much work it would be. So I had this fish tank installed. It separated the dining room from the kitchen. Big deal. But you remember the 80s? I mean, you could not watch a movie from the late 80s, early 90s without one of these fish tanks in there. And I remember that, and so I said, let's do it. Why not? Let's do it. And so we put that in there, and we had the saltwater fish in there, and they kept dying. And but that was because the stove, the chef stove, was built up against that. So we had to move the stove, so we did that. And then I fell in love with betta fish because they're so colorful and beautiful, so gorgeous. And like a rainbow. And I would take a sign language, I told you guys, and like a rainbow. You see that? And did you know this? Because betta fish, and this is why I love them, they're the meanest fish in the world. Did you know that? I know, I walked into Pet World, and they told me that, and I said, sold. I mean, I loved it originally because they're so gorgeous. And then, so we got the betta fish, I got like a dozen, we threw them in there. I had Maria taking care of them. And slowly but surely, only one would survive. And so we would get another dozen, throw them in there, and then we had a builder's dozen, and because we had 13, because they had the one left over, we threw 12 more in there, and then we had 13, which they say is builder's dozen. And so we threw them in there, and then again, one. And this was hard for me because I get attached to things easily, I name everything, and I'm one of those people, I'm very sensitive, very genuine. I name everything. My stuffed animals, jewelry, cash. I get very attached to things. My housemate, what's her name? We'd have a burial where she would have to do whatever she would do with them to get rid of them. And I would just be all in a tizzy. Run into the fish store with a credit card to say, give me another dozen. And we'd throw them in there again. I'd name them all again. Usually, for sentimental reasons, I would name them the same names again. And we throw them in there, and again, dead. All but one. I mean, this is horrible. Long story short, apparently, not only are they the meanest fish in the world, but these fish are horrible. Do you know that these fish, betta fish, they're actually called Japanese fighting fish, and they kill each other to the death. I mean, leave it to the Japanese. I mean, that's why I'll only eat halal. We have a Chinese food, they do halal, which means it's blessed by a Catholic priest. So now I said I can't take it anymore. Every time I walk by that dining room with the fish tank, I have a complete panic attack because I was attached to each one of those fish. I can't even walk by PetSmart anymore or Pet World. I see one of those fish in that little tiny bowl and I just go into a complete panic attack. It's too much. I can't even think about fish. I can't even watch Finding Nemo for fear that there's going to be one of these fish in that movie. I can't do it. You know, I've been thinking about starting a charity for these poor fish. I mean, can you imagine what it's like to not want to be around your own kind? You want to kill them? I mean, that must what it must be like to be, you know, Republican. I mean, really. This is hard for me. This is really hard. Hi guys, why don't you take a hot second to subscribe? Because if you're not subscribed to my channel, you're dead to me. And don't forget, share, comment below, and click the thumbs up.